Jello, this is Jezzy, and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Today we're working on this really beautiful lot in Oasis Springs. It's the one called Raffia Quinta, and it is a 20 by 15 lot in the Parched Prospect neighborhood. And today is a little bit of an interesting challenge. So I typically use a lot of white in my builds. So for this build, this is a all white build. I'm trying to get it out of my system, and I figure if I do a build that is 100% white and I force myself to only use white, maybe I can get out of my system and stop making all of my houses and my walls and everything white. I am not super confident that that'll be the case long term, but for today we'll see. And so I struggle a little bit in a couple areas, but overall I thought it was pretty fun and I really love the final product. So this is a tiny home. It is for one sim, and I didn't think much about what this sim would do because I was a little limited on what my choices could be because everything did have to be white. But I do know people like that. I do know people who love the color white. Their homes are very minimalistic. I personally have a lot of white in my home. I have a big white comforter on my bed and white walls. So here we are today building a house in The Sims 4 using only white everything. And the exceptions to the rules for this challenge is you can use a colored door for the front door, which I do. You'll see this going in right here. It's a blue door. And plants. So I really load this thing up with plants. As long as the plants that you use have a white or gray pot. So those are the rules. Everything else, doors, windows, walls, all of the furniture, all the finishings do have to be white. So this is a very tiny home. It is I believe 6 by 6, but it does have a full bedroom, full bathroom with a shower, and then your little kitchenette and living room, which I think is super cute. So we went with white floorboards, white walls. I do use custom content in this build, and I'll link to everything below. However, if you'd like to download this house, it is on the gallery, and if you don't have the custom content downloaded, all that means is that it won't show up in this build. So those really pretty glass subway tiles. I also use a custom white paint. So if you download this without that custom content installed, you'll just have to repaint the walls with whatever white or whatever color you want, really. Paint wallpaper that you have in your base game or that come in any of the packs. This is a custom stove. I absolutely love this gas range stove, and I use a custom refrigerator as well. And I absolutely adore the Peacemaker upper cabinets because they include an option to put a built-in around the stove, which I love. There you go. See it right there. So it's nice and recessed into the wall. And then I really start loading it up here with plants because I love greenery anyway. And I also think in this build in particular, because it is all white, it really breaks it up and brings a little bit more warmth and life to the space so it doesn't feel cold. For this house being all white, it does feel incredibly homey. I hope you'll agree at the end. But yeah, it just feels very cozy and, just a nice little place for your sim to be. So I do break my own rule. You won't see it here just yet, but I use a couch that has a black base. So shame on me. I did break my one rule with one piece of furniture and end up going with I believe it's from the Backyard Pack patio stuff. It's from Patio Stuff. And I use that nice like rattan sofa that had really bright white cushions because that couch I have right in there right now is a little too traditional. It doesn't really go with the modern aspect of the home, and then also I'm just very limited on couches that look white. A lot of these objects looked gray or looked just a little too warm with the lighting, but once we go into night mode you'll really see how white everything looks. And right now I have a easel out on the front porch and a table and chairs that are not white and they will go. So if you notice that, don't worry, they will all be replaced with something more appropriate that does follow the rules. And yeah, I honestly think the white on white does have dimension to it. I mean, just looking at that bedroom, all of the whites are a little bit different. So even though it is very bland and monochromatic, you do get a little bit of differentiation because, you use white wood. The white wood of the bookshelf doesn't match the white wood of that table. And so with the lighting, and once we add a little bit of art as well, I really do think it looks nice, and it doesn't look it doesn't all blend together. You really do kind of get a little bit of contrast. And there you go, you see me with that couch. I'm so sorry. I mean, it is over 50% white, so I feel like it's not a full deal breaker. But yeah, just adding a lot of plant life. I love that little plant, but as you'll see, I really struggle here to get the lighting right. I don't know why it's underneath that lamp and it isn't lit up. Maybe it has something to do with the window, but I end up replacing that with something else eventually. And finding white artwork was surprisingly difficult. I ended up using custom pieces in this that had a lot of swatches because there just weren't options in the packs that I have that would have white artwork in them, which kind of I would do. It's so bland. I do love that little pillow on there, a couple books, soap dispenser, and that bathroom's pretty much done as is. It's just a little tiny 3-piece bathroom, shower, sink, and toilet, and I love it. As all of my builds, I would live here. I think it's super cute. I think it's still big enough to have a friend or two over. We do put the dining table outside, which I think you can pull off in Oasis Springs because the weather is very mild. It's very great to have a home that has that indoor-outdoor living, and there is just no space. So having the dining table outside that seats 3, I think, is really nice because you can have 2 sim friends over and have a nice little dinner, hang out. There's enough seating in the living room for everyone to watch a movie. And you see me right here just kind of trying to figure out the exterior. And I love those vertical slats because they feel very modern, but they're still incredibly warm. And that roofing is atrocious and is about to change. I even tried to do glass roofs because I wasn't sure, I think that's what we go with. No, we lighten it up. So that was the lightest roofing that they had. And I know it's not 100% white, but at night it does look white. Same with the concrete. So that concrete is white. You can filter items by color, which is what I did, and ended up just looking through and pulling everything that was white. And during the daytime, though, that concrete does look very, very warm. And again, more greenery. Trash can is also outside. There was just no space for it. On the interior, I could have made the living room a little smaller. I've done kitchens that are a little smaller than that. Bathroom could have even been smaller, but I didn't want this to feel, this isn't an extreme tiny home. This is just a small, sweet home for one sim to live comfortably in. I wasn't trying to challenge myself and make the tiniest home possible. So just going in, doing a little landscaping. Again, I wanted to add as much green as possible because of all the white, and I just think green and white look so nice together. Dark forest green is one of my favorite colors, and I love those little hedges. Some trees, very cute, very, very cute. And I love that angle. That angle actually goes perfectly with the rocks behind it. In the screenshots at the end, you'll see just how cute this little house looks on this particular lot. And I actually spend quite a bit of time when I have an idea for a house in mind. See, you can see with the rocks, it just looks like it fits. But I spend quite a bit of time picking my lot because once I have that inspiration for what kind of house I want to build, I feel like where you build it is very important. If you watch my tiny coastal home build, I picked that beautiful lot on the island in Windenburg, and it's a coastal home, so it should be on the beach. It should be beachfront. And for this one, I knew I wanted it to be in Oasis Springs. Oasis Springs is probably my favorite world, and this lot, I don't think I've ever actually built on before. So when I clicked on it just to see what was up, I was actually very surprised because when you look on it on the map, it is brown. It is that red rock looking lot, but when you click on it and come to it, it is very green and everything around it is green. And I thought that was so exciting and nice. And I'm about to lose these blinds. They were the only white option that looked good as far as blinds, but I thought those windows were so pretty that I didn't really want to block your view completely to the outside. So I end up switching those out for the draperies by Peacemaker that I absolutely love. And we're just about finished. I fiddled with this plant a little bit before deleting it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Putting a little bit more clutter on the floor. I don't do it here, but you'll see it in the screenshots, but I do fit in a dresser underneath that TV. And everything is player tested, so, you know, the bookcase works, and you can get to the computer, you can get to the wardrobe and all that, and we're going into screenshots. So you can see just how pretty and cute and small this place is. It looks gorgeous at night. The kitchen is so cute, and it is a lofted ceiling as well, which I thought was really nice in a space that's this small. Cute little bathroom. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you so much again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and thanks again.